Hello everybody, welcome back to today's channel. We're going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3, if it is a good foldable for this year. Let's talk about it. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 is what I think is the best foldable in 2024 if you want one. I picked this up for about $145 and it is working perfectly. You have weather, I have apps on the front, and I haven't set up music yet, but you have music, notifications, and if you want to, you can change the wallpaper in the cover screen, and you can also change the clock style. There. So you have multiple options. Open up the phone. It's very one thing to complain about the phone is that it's hard to open with only one hand. So you have a pretty wide variety of things to be on the cover screen. Where is it? Cover screen right there. And then you have clock style or widgets. You have about around 12, 13 that you can really choose from. And you can reorder it for however you really want. So, yeah. And you also have, clock style. So you have around, I believe that's 12 for this, and then you have a couple other graphical ones, which are pretty nice. And also, it also finally has a 120 hertz display, so it will feel ultra smooth. The pictures on this phone are pretty phenomenal. The one thing I will say about it is that it has no optical zoom, only digital, which, it is, you can't really fit a giant optical camera in a Z Flip or one of these phones unless you get like a Fold or not a Fold, like a Plus or something. Well, besides that, it's pretty good. Now, one thing I will say is better in this one than my other one, which was an S10e, is that occasionally when I set the camera to ultra wide like that, my finger, I'd have it just like that and it'd be in frame. What is it doing? Yeah, photo. I'd have it just like that and it'd be in frame. And I've messed up countless pictures because my finger's in the frame. This, I haven't really had an issue. My finger usually rests around here to usually bottom down here. So it is really nice. The flex mode, I don't really use it that much, but it works if you want to do some stuff like this and go down or something. There we go. Well, another feature that this has, since it now has a cover screen, is that when you press the little top icon right at the top, you have access to that. Hi, I'm using my S21 Ultra right now that I actually don't have a back for, as you can see. Yeah, picture. So yeah, there is a picture right there. Looks better on the phone than through camera. But let's also talk about the pictures. I have a picture of, cat. I'll put the actual image on screen in a bit. But yeah, there it is. The hinge is very good. I haven't had any issues with it. It stays up in basically any position you want it to. So you can go just to it's almost closed, and then that's when the magnets kick in and close it. Besides that, it opens all the way up. This is basically like a one-handed motion or two-handed thing to open and close the phone. But it works also from the last Fold, which is a Z, or the last Fold when this thing came out was the Z Fold and the Z Flip 5G, I believe. And I believe this has a 40% harder cover screen now. I guess, great feature. And I know compared to nowadays, I believe the Z Flip 6 is going to release in just a couple of months. But if you want to, have a foldable at a cheap price, around $200 or less for good condition or better, then this is what I recommend. Still, sturdy hinge. It can record in 4K 60. Open it up. Yeah, Ultra HD 60 FPS. So if you want ultra smooth frame rates, you got that. Has slow motion, super slow motion. It has the also director's view, as also the S21 Ultras and stuff have from S21 and onward. The crease, to me, it hasn't been basically any issue to me at all. Hasn't been a single issue. Even if I'm reading text, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. The nits is 1200. You can't turn off adaptive brightness. I'll switch hands for this. But yeah, if you do look at the crease at the wrong angle like that, you can clearly see it right there. But when I'm usually looking at it onward, you can't see it. Yeah, you can see on the edges right there. Besides that, don't really feel like you definitely feel it. Give focus. Definitely feel it, but you don't always view it. I have noticed that when the display is in light mode, it sometimes shows up more or sometimes less. I just always have it set to dark mode because it is the optimal display setting, because it doesn't blind you with light. It has the cover screen, 120 hertz. Where is it? Yeah, right there. New 120 hertz instead of 60, but you can choose between them. It is now also IPX8, I believe. So there's no official dust rating yet, but not for the newest. So, same features. Has a side fingerprint sensor instead of the one in the center right there. And it has Face ID, but it's not like the Apple Face ID, because this basically just takes a picture of you, and what Apple does, it does a 3D mapping basically of your whole face. So the apps, I will say one thing is that since this whole screen or this whole phone is in a 21:9 ratio, when you want to watch something in 16:9, there can be pretty huge black bars. It had time lapse here, as you can see. They're pretty thick, but you can always zoom in. But yeah, you are losing quality. But if you're watching some type of movie or something, most movies are recorded in 21:9. So you get basically the best viewing thing. So right here, look, you cannot basically see the crease at all. I tried to take a picture of the moon, but you can see it did not work at all, because this has no zoom for that. Just if you want to get zoom, this is what I recommend. Or this is not what I recommend at all. Get an Ultra or like a Plus phone or normal. The night shots right here for nighttime, that's what I got for, I believe it had 5-second exposure. But yeah, it has, I believe also, it has 12 megapixels for the front, for the wide and ultra wide cameras. And now there is a new mode on this phone that is called, I believe, Flex Window, a Flex Panel, where you can turn any app into Flex, basically, or flex it. So it'd be in Labs, and then multi-Flex Panel. So let's test this out right here. Let's just open Files app or something. Then when you bend it, you have the little icon in the bottom, and then when you tap the icon, you have a little touchpad right in the top. Ta-da! Then you can also control your media with that like volume and stuff. So yeah, and the battery, it has 3,300 nits, or sorry, milliamps if I'm correct. Yeah, 3,300 milliamps, which actually for some reason has actually lasted me almost a day or more. Like, okay, when I'm going to sleep, it's usually at 20%, and when I wake up, it does still have battery, but just not that much at all. But, you know, you can't really fit a giant screen battery inside of this, sorry. There's a cat. Angry kitty. So, it's at 79%. Only 10 digits off from 69%. But yeah, IPX8 water resistant. You can do eSIM also, if I am correct. It has 128 gigs of storage and 8 gigs of RAM. You can go up to 256, but it does cost more. I've seen it cost about $100 to $50 more than a normal phone, or the normal edition. So yeah, for a budget foldable with an ultrasonic, I think, fingerprint sensor on the side, I think that's what it is. It is really good for only $200 or less. This is one thing I do recommend if you're also doing it as I'm doing and just buying it used on eBay, is that try and make sure that the screen, when you buy it, has a built-in screen protector, because that is just what you want. So the original screen is actually, it's, you know, plastic, because that's where you get the folding thing in the crease. So if you have any damage on the actual screen and you do not have a fingerprint sensor or you don't have a screen protector, the phone basically is having its actual screen display, which means that it is basically more vulnerable to cracks and scratches. I have, you know, a scratch right there, and I have a pretty bad crease in the middle. You can see it, yeah, you can really see it right there. So I'm actually going to return this phone, but if that doesn't fully bother you, then, you know, it's a perfect phone for you. Yeah, I am going to return this phone, but later I'm going to buy a better one, because when I buy the phone, I do want to get one that is, you know, in better condition. It's going to last me more than a couple years or months. But you can see, open it up, it's so hard to see, but there is also stress cracks starting to happen right there and right there. So yeah, you're right there, you can really see it. I don't know whoever had this phone before did not, I want to say, take care of it, because, you know, as soon as, let's say, you want to replace the screen protector on it because something happened to it or it's starting to lift up, only take it off when you need to, or when you have another one, because I don't recommend having the original screen still on there. And from Samsung, if it's still in warranty, well, now it's not still in warranty, you know. So yeah, it's not still in warranty because this thing is now 3 years old now at this point. So it is going to cost you around $20 if you do need to replace it, which is not really that much for a screen protector. That's what you usually find. But yeah, the hinge, it is strong. It's usually there, and it just locks in at anything. I have noticed that something that is cool is that the flashlight right here, turn it on, does blind you. But it is cool that since the whole back panel is made out of glass and not matte like the Z Flip 4, it actually scatters through the whole back. It's hard to see on here, so that's cool. So also, all of the sides of the phone are matte now, or they have been, and the back is glossy, which I think is the best. You get the smooth on the side and you get the glossy on the back, which means, yes, it does get more fingerprints, but it does, I want to say, improve grip on it. And since this phone folds in half, the compactness is great. It's like a cube. Just you can have all of your fingers on all sides of the phone, basically. So for 2024, is it a good phone? Is it still getting updates? Yes, it is worth it. Just make sure you pick out a good one, cause you're gonna want it. Okay, catch you in the next one. Goodbye.